Okay, another financial question. Amortization, so it's borrowing money. We're going to look at the second question here. It's a little bit small, but with good eyes, I'm sure you better see it. So Mr. Stewart wants to take out a loan of SGD 20,000 here. Interest rate is 18% compounded monthly, so that seems a pretty high interest rate, but sometimes it happens if you go and try and borrow money from various places. 18%, and that's compounded monthly. It's 20,000 SGD is the loan. Want to pay back at 500 SGD per month. And basically want to know how long it's going to take to pay back that particular debt. So I suppose it's interesting. We can just find out roughly how long it might take. $500 per month times 12 months is 6,000 per year. 6,000 times 3 years is 18,000. So maybe 4 years, something like that. So this is definitely a job for Finance Solver. Menu, Finance Solver. And as usual, I'm going to press delete tab. Just going to go through, just clear everything and just start from fresh. Okay, start with the things I can definitely fill in. 18% for sure. Now the 18% is compounded per month. Yes, compounded monthly there is. So 12 compounding periods per month. So therefore we can match the I interest rate with the CPY, which is compounding periods per year. One thing, there is a 20,000 loan. So basically this money is flowing towards me. It's coming from the bank towards me, so it's positive, and it's 20,000. So anything coming towards me positive, anything flowing away from me negative. The final value, well, this is always going to be 0 for loans. I mean, it doesn't have to be. You could, I mean, strangely enough, you might just say, well, actually, I'm going to take this down to 5,000. I always want to owe 5,000. It makes no sense. You want to pay back the full debt to 0, don't you? So it's usually 0 here. And let's think about it. How many payments per year do I want to make, and how much do I pay per month? Well, it says very clearly that I'm paying 500 per month. So that's flowing away from me, so that's negative 500. And down here, how many payments per year do you want to make? Well, I want to make 12 payments per year because I want to pay each month. I mean, you can just make one payment per year and just have a yearly repayment. But I suppose the usual structure is that you pay back loans on a monthly basis. Life seems to be revolving around months. If you're working, you usually get a salary paid at the end of each month. You know, you kind of work 4 weeks and then get paid, and the cycle continues. So that's kind of matched in terms of finances and borrowing and paying back. So that's 12. And it just so happens that the compounding periods, the interest rate is compounded monthly as well. So they just happen to be the same. They don't always have to be the same. In this instance, they are the same. One thing you have to think about is this end or begin. You've got to end or begin. Now, if you think about it, you go to the bank, you take out a loan of 20,000. And on the very first day you take out the loan, you don't automatically pay back 500. It doesn't make any sense, because if you did that, you just take out a smaller loan. So when you take out a loan, you usually wait until the end of the first month or the end of the first year to start paying back. Okay, so we're going to pay back at the end. So this is, under here, this is making the payments. We make payment at the end of the payment month. Okay, so everything's set up nicely there. And the question is how long? So clearly N. Now just got to be careful. N doesn't stand for the number of years. N doesn't stand for the number of months. N stands for the number of payments you make. Okay, so let's click on here and press enter. And we've got an answer here that N equals 61.54. So now we just got to think logically about this. We make 61.54 payments, 61/62 payments. But we pay every month. Okay, so can you think about that? We make 12 payments in 1 year. So if we take 61.54 and divide it by 12, now we've got the idea about how many years it will take. And this is about, 5 years. So let's just get the calculator out, press escape. 61.54 divided by 12. Oh, it's not coming up. Let me try that again. 61.54 divided by 12. Okay, so it's approximately 5.13 years. Okay, and I don't want to leave the question there because I just want to see that 18% is such a high interest rate for a loan. You can see the question above, I did in a previous video, was 2.3%. Global interest rates currently October 2019. You can get out mortgages to buy a house at maybe 2, 3, 4, 5, 6%. This 18% here is pretty extortionate. But some people do have to resort to taking out high percentage interest loans in various parts of the world or in various situations. So let's just see how big a burden that interest rate actually is. So what we're going to do is this. We're actually paying out $500 per month. Okay, and we're actually making, it says 61.54 payments. So let's physically see how much cash we're paying back to the bank. 61.54 times 500 is, so we're paying back 30,770. Now the loan amount is only 20,000, so actually paying back 10,770. That seems quite a lot. So it's only over 5 years. So over 5 years we're paying back 10,000 extra on top of the 20,000. Wow. So we're paying back 10,000 interest. Now if we take that interest of 10,770 and see what it's like as a percentage of the original amount we borrowed, and so let's do that. So let's do 10,770. Let's divide it by 20,000. Okay, it's giving me an exact answer. If I press up, press return, and then press control, approximately equal to 53.85%. Wow. So this is approximately 54%. So we've got this effective interest rate that we've paid. We're paying back an extra 54% of the amount we borrowed, which is ridiculously high. I mean, just look at it in absolute values. We borrowed 20,000. We pay back the full 20,000 in 5 years, approximately. But you also pay back on top of that 10,770. That is an amazing amount of money you've got to find just for the privilege of taking out that loan. So just look very carefully at the percentage, basically interest rate.